The New York Liberty just ruined Caitlin Clark's home debut. Let's talk about it here on the Light It Up Liberty podcast. Welcome back. The New York Liberty have beat the Indiana Fever in Caitlin Clark's debut at home, 102-66. It was a great game for the Liberty. We're going to talk about it, but make sure you like, comment, and subscribe so we can help push this to other WNBA fans out there. It was a great game for the Liberty star, Breanna Stewart. It was a great game for Jonquel Jones, a solid game from their bench and from Sabrina Ionescu. But I want to start by talking about Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever. Now, Caitlin struggled. She came out aggressive, made her first shot. She tried to go for some threes. I believe she finished 1 for 7 from three-point land. And it felt like the physicality and speed of the game has really been a little bit too much for her. She continues to get a little bit of foul trouble. She finished with 5 fouls in this game. She needs to clean that part of her game up a little bit. I will say a positive for this Indiana Fever team was Fagbenle, who was all over the court. She was very tenacious, aggressive, thought she played great defense, and her energy just really outmatched out there. And Caitlin's talented teammate Aaliyah Boston really struggled from the field this game, was 5 for 15. It felt like she was a little bit in her head with Jonquel Jones getting really physical with her the whole game from the get-go. They had a little altercation that almost got them technicals, and it just felt like Aaliyah was off of her game from the beginning of this one, along with Caitlin, because Liberty, and they brought their physical game today. They wanted to push them around. It felt like there was some missed calls in the beginning of the game from my point of view, that Aaliyah Boston was getting hacked a little bit, but overall they were letting them bang down there in the paint. So I think what we're seeing from Caitlin so far is the speed of the game is a little bit too much right now. The physicality is a little bit too much, but let's take into account she is getting double teamed a lot. She is getting picked up from beyond half court. They are really keying in on Caitlin Clark, and they're acting like she is the most dangerous person on the floor, in which she is. She can score from anywhere, and it feels like she's getting a little frustrated and starting to force some threes, force some shots. And I think you have to take that on to not just Caitlin, but Aaliyah Boston and the rest of this Fever team needs to start hitting shots. Really disappointed in the play of Aaliyah Boston so far. I think you can't make Caitlin the main focus of your offense just yet. She needs to settle down. She needs to settle in to the flow of this game and just chemistry with her teammates. So I really want Aaliyah Boston and the rest of this team to start picking up the slack offensively, so that maybe when she kicks out of these double teams, a teammate is hitting open shots. And that's just what we're missing right now from the Fever team. Caitlin is trying to keep them in it, but the rest of the team is not hitting efficiently enough shots. Once that starts to happen, you can't double team Caitlin anymore, because you have to worry about Aaliyah in the paint. You have to worry about the rest of the squad hitting three-pointers. So under 30% from three this game, that's just not going to cut it. And I'm not going to say that it's like a rude awakening for Caitlin Clark, like some WNBA players were saying. She did put up 20 points in her first game. She is making good passes. She is rebounding. I think the shots just aren't falling. They're really difficult shots. And I think hopefully her teammates can start landing some of those shots so that Caitlin's difficult shots become a little bit easier. And I think what the Fever are doing right now, where they're like, listen, we're going to make her the main focal point of this offense. We're going to let her try to facilitate. We're going to let her try to score and be the leader of this team, so that by mid-season, she is up to speed and she's kind of running the show and she's scoring at will like she's used to. But it's going to take time. It's going to take time for her to adjust. And I don't think she's going to have as bad of games as she's had, where she had like 10 turnovers in the first game. She couldn't score in the second game. I think she's going to have some good performances pretty soon here. And it's just going to be an adjustment period. I don't think it's a rude awakening. I think it's just a rookie playing a lot of minutes, having a lot of responsibility, and the expectations are high. So I think she'll match them at least by mid-season, and then we'll start to see the real Caitlin Clark come through. Now, onto the Liberty side of things, I thought they were hitting on all cylinders. They looked like a championship team. Jones, Stewart, and Ionescu all look good or great. The role players all look good on the bench. They did their thing. Uh, the team, they have a rematch with the Fever on Saturday. Caitlin, she was looking frustrated on that bench. She's gonna want to come out and she's gonna want to score. Aaliyah Boston's gonna want to come out and be physical and really try to make up for this performance. So that's gonna be a really good one to watch. But I just think this Liberty team has so much talent, and especially when they're playing as well as they did in this first game against the Fever, they're hard to stop. I think the Fever just aren't there talent wise yet. Jonquel Jones is amazing. Jonquel Jones, to me right now, is the MVP for this Liberty team. I know Breanna Stewart put up 31 in this game, but Jonquel Jones with 14, 10, and 4, but key in shutting Aaliyah Boston down, just physical, intimidating down in the paint. I thought she was amazing, and she's been good for both games so far this season. Some of these plus minus numbers for the Liberty starters are ridiculous. Let me see if I have that pulled up here. Just going to the box score really quick. So just for the Liberty starters, Lainey Hamilton was plus 43, Breanna Stewart plus 26, Jonquel Jones plus 32, Sabrina Ionesco plus 34, along with almost everyone on their bench being in the positive and the plus minus category. It was a blowout through and through, a great performance from the Liberty. There was some times where the Fever did start to put together. I thought the Fever had a great third quarter. Once Caitlin Clark, she hit a three. She hit a step back three. It was nasty. It was amazing play. Then she comes down, gets to the free throw line, and then she goes, makes a great defensive play right after that, gets a turnover. That's when Indiana started to flow. They really started to play fast. They started to make fast break points, and they played aggressively on the defensive side of the ball, really aggressively. And I thought that's when they were at their best. They really cut down the lead going into the fourth. And I think that's where this Fever team is going to be the most dangerous, where they're super aggressive on defense. They let Caitlin facilitate and pass the ball a lot, and they hit the easy shots. That's going to be the key for this team, hitting easy shots so that when Caitlin tries to make some of the difficult ones and some of them land, some of them don't, you're not really hurt too much by that. You're really just gaining on, okay, we hit all our easy shots. We're in this game. And if Caitlin hits a crazy three, we're going to be up even more. But all this to say, the Liberty to open the fourth went on a 10-0 run and really just ran away with the game from there. It was full blowout city from then on. I thought the bench did their thing. Breanna Stewart just went crazy. Jonquel Jones hit a couple more shots, and yeah, it was a tough game to watch for I'm sure the home crowd and the Caitlin Clark fans and everyone who's a fan of Caitlin. But I thought this Fever team just didn't have it tonight. The Liberty team put it all together. They were looking great. And I'm really looking forward to this Saturday matchup and seeing how Caitlin responds, because she's pissed. She's going to want to come back and really put on a good show for these fans. And we'll be here to break it down and really talk about what's going on the storylines. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time on the Light It Up Liberty podcast.